Have you ever wondered why some people are successful while others are not? The factors influencing success are not always consistent. Today we're looking at Malcolm Gladwell's book, Outliers. That book is gonna fall. Maybe not. Okay, we'll keep on going for now. Malcolm Gladwell set out to determine what factors contribute to Outliers' success. Please note that in this video, I will not go through all the lessons that I've learned in this book, but only those that pertain to entrepreneurs and that will help you become one of those outliers. Cue the intro. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time being here, I'm Idacat and I talk about entrepreneurship things. So what are the top 5 lessons that I've learned in this book, Outliers from Malcolm Gladwell? Number 1 is IQ is not that important. Of course it's important, but it's not the be-all and end-all. There's various other aspects that contribute to one's success, including EQ, confidence, social skills. One thing that's interesting to note is that creative thinking and divergent thinking and creative problem solving and those kind of things are taking the lead these days as AI is replacing many of the quantitative skills. Therefore, characteristics that are not associated with IQ has become extremely important in determining your success. Say you are the tallest person in a basketball team. That doesn't necessarily say you're the best player on the team. It definitely gives you an advantage, but only to an extent. In the book, Malcolm talks about this person who had the highest IQ and how he did not achieve success, whereas those with still above average IQ, but a bit more emotional intelligence and social savvy and things like that, succeeded much more. So IQ is not all that. There are various people with low IQs and high EQs and a lot of creative thinking or confidence that have achieved the same success than someone with a high IQ with less social intelligence. Therefore, the underlying lesson here is embrace whatever you have, whatever intelligence level you are at. And the social skills you have and the other talents you have, like in combination, that's your perfect potion, if that makes sense. There's this beautiful quote that I heard from Catherine Manning that says, "No one is you, and that's your superpower." So hone in on your uniqueness. The second lesson is wake up early and work consistently. This is much easier said than done, of course, and I will have another video in the future of how you can wake up earlier. This is definitely something I struggle with as well. I tend to stay up too late and wake up too late, but it's important to note that waking up early really makes a huge difference. The one quote that I loved from Outliers in this respect is, "No one who can rise before dawn 360 days of the year fails to make his family rich." Think of how much more you could have done if you woke up early consistently. If you can wake up early every single morning for a whole year, every single day, you are unstoppable. Lesson 3 is opportunities are all around us. People often overlook the opportunities that cross their path. The difference between outliers and non-outliers is that they take advantage of the opportunities that cross their path. Take, for example, Bill Gates. He was one of a few people who had access to the computers to practice on and refine his skill. But he was the one out of those 1,000 or so. He was one of those people who took advantage of the situation and put in all the hours to master his skill. My advice here is that you need to take the opportunity. If there's an opportunity that you are thinking of now, something that's crossed your path and you're doubtful if you want to do it or take the risk,
Stop there!
just do it.
No! What are you waiting for? Do it!
The 4th rule, and maybe the most famous one from this book, is the 10,000 hour rule. This rule says that you need to have around about 10,000 hours of practice in a certain skill or expertise or whatever to be a world-class professional or expert. He goes into further detail that it takes about 10 years to achieve this. This makes me realize I'm not an expert in anything. The thing is, nothing worthwhile comes easy. You can't just rely on talent. You need perseverance and hard work to succeed with anything you do. A great example for me is in the line of art. The musicians who succeed are those who actually take it seriously and work their butts off. One example that's very close to me and where I've seen it in particular is my brother. He's a full-time musician. I used to be in his band as well, and we would have fun, because I was 19, he was 21. We would just have fun and do it more as a hobby. But he wanted to make a full-time career out of it. So when he started performing alone, he just grew and grew and grew. He took it super seriously. A more popular example of a musician working hard to get where they were is the group The Beatles. When they first started, they got a gig where they would play all through the night, something like 8 hours every single day. Forced them to practice constantly, which enabled them to really upskill themselves, realize what the crowd loved, how to have a great stage personality, become experts in their individual instruments. The thing is, nothing worthwhile comes easy. You need a lot more than natural talent or intelligence to become an outlier. So let's see how far I should still travel this road on YouTube to be a world-class expert. The road ahead is still very long. Now, if this is discouraging you, don't let it discourage you, okay? Wow. But the thing is, anyone who's a world-class expert in any given topic was a beginner at the beginning. So don't give up. It takes perseverance and hard work to become successful. And the last lesson I learned from Malcolm Gladwell is that you need to be fulfilled with what you do. You need to be happy with what you do. At least 60% of the time, I would say. That's not from the book, that's just in general. Hopefully more, You need to be happy with what you do for work because it's basically a third of your life. Malcolm Gladwell set out 3 factors that determine how satisfied we are with our work. The first one is autonomy. So you need to be able to do some aspects on your own. Even when you're a beginner, you might need to research a bit more or have someone oversee your work. But you still need to have some aspects where you feel you're working autonomously. Next is complexity. There needs to be some level of complexity, be it physical or emotional. No, not emotional. Be it physical or mental. You have to be challenged in your work. You have to be able to learn and grow throughout your work. And the last rule is there has to be a connection between effort and reward. It's the most satisfying feeling when you put in effort and you get matched rewards. If you get success easily, it's not that satisfying. And if you put in a lot of effort and don't get any reward for it, it's really demotivating. That's what I love about studying. Call me a nerd. But the amount you study is directly correlated to the marks you get. That's why I hate jobs where if you reach the status quo, you get the same amount of money or the same amount of praise. Remember, reward is not always money. It can be praise, just a sense of accomplishment, but there needs to be a link between effort and reward. The reason I found this last lesson to be especially important to entrepreneurs is I think this is the reason why most of you might be watching this channel or want to become entrepreneurs, is we are driven by these factors. To work autonomously, we want to work on our own and do our own thing and be our own boss, To have complex situations. Even if you start your own accounting firm, which might have a lot of doing the same thing over and over, you have to reach out to new clients. You have to deal with a particularly difficult client sometimes, which is out of the ordinary and is a bit of a challenge. There's a lot of challenges in being an entrepreneur, but with the last part of it, by persevering through those challenges, you receive rewards. By overcoming that difficult client, you are now more equipped to deal with the next difficult client. There's a direct correlation between effort and reward. Now, at the beginning of this video, I said that I'm not going to talk about all the lessons in the book. The other things are more related to luck being born at a specific time, having certain demographics, or being born in a certain country, and that's not really helping us as entrepreneurs. It's helping us to understand where previous outliers come from. With these luck-related aspects of the book, the only advice I can give you is that whenever an opportunity arises, take it. Because that's your portion of luck. Grab onto those opportunities that might be seen as luck in the future for Malcolm Gladwell's next book. What I'm trying to say is I don't think it's the lucky bird who catches the worm. It's the early, dedicated, persevering bird with creative thinking that catches that delicious worm. And that brings me to the end of this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe to the video. Also comment down below what lesson was your favorite or one you want to work on in particular. Also, if you would like to read this book, there's a link in the bio where you can get it. And if you want me to go over lessons from other books, please recommend them down below, or any other type of videos that you would like me to create. But that's all from me for now. Bye! Wow.